Come up and hit this back of this camera. And to my right. Oh, shit. My bad. Listen, come back to the right again. I forgot it's a slow reaction. Let me see that. Perfect. That's it. That's what it's like. All right, here we go. Shalom, Israel. We are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under the commanding General Yohana. We have been bringing this truth since 1969, and that truth is that the so-called blacks, the so-called Hispanics, and the so-called Native Indians are the true Jews of the Bible, and the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Today's class, this is Brotherhood class, and like we always say, what is it? Brotherhood synonymous with. Brotherhood is synonymous with sisterhood. And anything we're talking about to the brothers, it also goes for the sisters. There is no separate rules for brothers and sisters. We all living under the same rules. The Most High told us not to do something. He wasn't just talking to the brothers, but he was also talking to the sisters. The only thing is that sisters, you learn from the man. The man is the teacher on this earth. The Most High put us over the woman, just like Christ is over the man is over the woman. It's a trickle down. The Most High gives us the laws, and we give the laws to our women. So everything that is spoken to the man is also goes for the woman. So with that, today's class is going to be entitled "Who is Your Enemy?" And the problem that we have, especially within the black community, is a lot of us can't recognize our enemy, you know? And because we can't recognize our enemy, we embrace our enemy with love. And with embracing your enemy with love, you show hatred towards your brothers and your sisters. Bible tells us you can't love one and love the other. If you love one, you're going to hate the other. If you hate one, you're going to love the other. You can't love both. You understand what I'm saying? You know, and the Most High says in the Bible that you can't be lukewarm. If you're lukewarm, he will spew you out of his mouth. And in him spewing you out of his mouth is him saying that you hate him. You understand? It's no bipartisan. You have to be here or there. You can't be in both places at the same time. when a judgment, think about it, right? I'm gonna give an example, right? Think about this now, war. Check this out. When you go to court, right? And two people get into a disagreement, you have what?
A plaintiff
and
a defendant.
And a defendant. You can't be a plaintiff and a defendant. You either one or the other, and you are judged accordingly. You understand? By the evidence that is brought up, you are judged accordingly. You don't leave out of a courtroom guilty and innocent. You feel me? You don't leave out of a courtroom guilty or innocent. You are either found guilty or you are found innocent. Charges that are brought up against you are either proven fact or it's proven fiction. It can't be both. You understand? And because we love our enemies so much, we show a lot of hatred towards our brothers and sisters. Well, the Most High tells us to come from among them. He tells us to separate from them. He tells us how to do business, who we are supposed to do business. He tells us to love our brothers and hate our enemies. All of these things that he tells us, he tells us because he knows who our enemy is. We are the ones who don't know who our enemies are. You understand what I'm saying? So this is what this class is going to be about tonight. And the first scripture that I want you to pull for me now, War, is Job chapter 9 and verse 24. And if anybody watching this class, you need to probably want to write these scriptures down. Job chapter 9, verse 24.
Job chapter 9, verse 24.
Hold up for a minute now, War.
Come.
Give me a second. Give the people a second. Do anybody online? We got anybody in the class?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Just me and you. We good. Okay, you got that?
Come on, sir.
Go ahead, read.
Job chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
Say that again.
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
It says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Who is the wicked? What's going on, brother? You made it with us, huh? You all right? You drove? Oh, okay. I seen a little sign like, oh, he must drove. That's nigga for you right there. So we got all kinds of hand language. You feel me? That come from us. You know what I mean? He come in the door. What he did? Boom. I said, oh, he must be driving. You know what I mean? That's nigga shit right there. Feel me? That's how we talk. We talk with our hands. You know what I mean? And you know what's crazy? Is that our culture is so solid, right, that a brother don't even gotta speak. A brother don't even gotta move his mouth. All he gotta do is make a hand gesture. You feel me?
Right.
All the brother gotta do is make a hand gesture, and we know exactly what he's talking about. No words. You understand?
Right.
Sign language come from us. You know that, right?
Right. Yeah.
Sign language come from us. You feel me? Bye. I mean, we solid. I love this truth. You know what I'm saying? God damn, we reeling them up. But anyway, let's go back over that again. You want to read now, War?
Come on.
Hey, grab that microphone right there so the people online can hear you. Hit that microphone on.
Job chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
It says the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Think about this now. Who is it talking about? Who is it talking about?
Slack, sir. Those that control the earth.
Those that control the earth, exactly. Now, War just answered the question perfectly. It's the people who control the earth. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. I mean, think about it, right? Who runs the earth? Who controls the earth? Who controls the borders of the earth? You understand what I'm saying? That's the one who controls the earth. And who controls the earth? Our oppressor.
Right.
You understand? No matter where you go, and think about this too, right? I didn't think about this. I didn't think about this until one of the brothers said it the other day, right? This United States empire is so powerful. They have forced their ways into other countries and control the borders of other countries. And when you think of it on that aspect, that right there solidifies this scripture, Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. When it's given into the hands of the wicked is the person who controls everything on the face of the earth. Think about this too, right? There's a lot of countries that have gone into debt with the United States from unfair business practices, because every law that they make is made to further solidify the power of the United States on the face of the earth. You feel me? And think about this. They said the other day, just yesterday, they just said what country was that just defaulted on a loan? Was it India? One of those countries just defaulted on a loan yesterday. The United States is going to allow them to make it up, but interest is going to be tacked onto it. But how does a powerful country default on a loan? Unless the contract that was written up wasn't written up in their benefit. You understand what I'm saying? It wasn't written up for them to actually fulfill the contract. You understand what I'm saying? The contracts that the United States makes are not made for a person to actually fulfill the contract. The contracts that the United States makes with other countries is so that the United States can control those other countries. Now, I just saw on CNN News yesterday, right? They said that the United States is trying to force, what is that, London, who just did the Brexit? Who just did the Brexit?
That would be UK, sir.
UK.
Yeah.
What they're trying to do is force the UK into having to buy beef and poultry from the United States that is filled with hormones. The whole purpose of them, what the UK said was the whole purpose of them leaving the Brexit was so they didn't have to fall under laws like that. You understand what I'm saying? So that was one of the points one of their points was they didn't want to have to do that. Just like over in Great Britain, they don't allow United States beef and poultry to come over there with the hormones and the drugs that are added. Well, what the United States did was they forced Great Britain to they are trying to force Great Britain into taking part of that. And that was one of the points of the UK leaving in Brexit. You understand what I'm saying? Because they didn't want the United States to have to force them into taking something that they didn't want. That was just one of the points. It was a lot of things that they had brought up, but that was just one of the points. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked because we can see that every law that the United States creates is created to benefit the United States versus all of the other countries. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. The United States controls borders in countries that don't even belong to them. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
They control borders of other countries that don't even pertain to them. You understand what I'm saying? And that is a great proof right there that the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. The United States controls, what would you say, like 85% of the earth? 75, 85? Because Russia only controls a few countries.
China's probably has the largest population.
No, they have the largest population, but I'm saying of who they control. Think about it, right?
Yeah.
Think about it. United States bombed China. United States bombed Korea. We're talking about old wars and things like that. And the United States had big battle with different countries that have taken over different countries. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of countries bow down to the United States. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. And then what the United States tries to do, what do they try to do? They try to force their Christianity on you. That's the same way that they came over here and took over the United States. They forced Christianity on a people who knew nothing of Christianity, and then they beat it into them. Destroyed the native Indians, came over, took part of the Mexico's land, and then went over, took us, and brought us back into a land and forced us.
So, like, sir, if I may, the world's economy is tied to the U.S. economy.
Exactly.
So as the U.S. economy goes, there goes the economy of the entire planet. So it's just that alone, you can clearly see that they are definitely in control of the entire earth.
The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Think about this too, right? The United States owes everybody around the face of the earth, but they will never go into default. They will never go into default. Why? Because they make the rules. Even when they go into the United States, even when they come together as the United Nations, right? Who was the controlling nation? The United States. When they go into the United Nations, when they have those meetings in the United Nations meeting, United States is the controlling nation. Nothing flies unless the United States says, okay, we will accept that. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
United States, as much money as they owe all of these countries around the earth, they will never go into default because they write the rules to the game. You understand what I'm saying? It's like you make up a game. We used to be little, we used to make up a game, right? We all played catch one, catch all, or it's a tag, whatever, right?
Right.
When you figure you make up a rule, let's make up a new rule to the game that we've been playing all our lives, and you put rules in it that will help you to win the game. You understand what I'm saying? We've done that when we was little. We used to play catch one, catch all, and then you had to do a certain thing for you, or you had to catch a certain person first. That's the rule, the little fly rule that we did. Because he's so slow and fat, you can't hit him, you can't tag him first. You know what I mean? The fat boy, you can't tag him first. You got to tag somebody fast. You understand what I'm saying? And the game will go on. The fat boy always the one who made up that rule. You feel me? So he don't get caught first. When you making up a game, you make up the rules to set according to you. You know what I mean? Your athletic ability. You feel me? You playing football, what you do? You put all the fat boys on the front line. Y'all ain't getting through them. That's what we do. We make up a game. I'm gonna make this game work for me. You feel me? What you got now, Wolf?
If I may, sir, the UN, more than half of the UN's budget is funded by the U.S. So in effect, monetarily, they control the U.S.
Exactly, and that's the whole point of it. Think about this, right? Think about this. The Iran-Contra scandal, all of the drugs and everything that was brought into the United States, Ronald Reagan bringing the drugs in. Anytime you have something like that, the United States was funding people in different areas of the world so that they could get the thing that would destroy us. So now when you lock down another nation, think about it, right? They made that rule up, right? They made that rule up. So now the other nations, if they even wanted to come out and say what the United States was doing, they can't do that because the United States put them in like a chokehold, catch-22. If you say what we doing, then we gonna bring this out about you. So think about, even though all of the nations across the face of the earth, they are confederate against thee. They have come together to conspire against us. Tells us that in Psalms 83, 2-5, right? They are confederate against thee. The United States makes that rule up, and it's crazy that that's in the Bible too, right? The United States makes that rule up so that they can lock down and do what they want to do across the face of the earth, thus controlling the earth. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. You feel me? This is This is an amazing thing about this Bible. This truth. They don't call it the truth for nothing. You understand what I'm saying? The whole the thing with our people is that because we don't recognize our enemy, and we in the Christian church, you read a scripture like that, you fly right over it because you figure this doesn't pertain to me. Whatever was happening back in biblical times, that's when, and that's another thing that the Christian church does. That's another thing right there. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. The European, our oppressor, put that in our head. That, oh, you know this happened in biblical times. That doesn't refer to you today. And because they made up the rules of their Bible, they made up the rules of Christianity, this is what blinds us when you come up under Christianity. You understand what I'm saying?
Come on.
You think that when it's saying certain things in the Bible, oh, that doesn't pertain to us. It doesn't pertain to us because that was in biblical times. This is what the European has put into our head. Just like the image of Christ. The image of Christ, when you close your eyes and say Jesus Christ, the first thing you think of is that white man. I do it to this day. That's the first image that pops into my head because it was branded to me. But I know otherwise. You understand what I'm saying? I know that Christ was a black man with hair of wool. You understand? Skin of bronze. We know that. But because they have planted this into our minds for so long, and it has been given to generation and generation after generation after generation, it's just natural when you close your eyes and say that. That's the first picture that comes into your mind because the earth is given into the hands of the wicked, and this is how the wicked destroy us. You understand what I'm saying?
Come on.
All right, let's finish that. Let's go over.
Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof.
It says he covereth the faces of the judges thereof. They knocked us off. Can you turn that microphone on? Mm-hmm. Turn the speaker up. The microphone.
If not, where and who is he?
Okay, we're gonna go back to that second part again.
Come on.
That's cool. That's cool, knocked off.
He covereth the faces of the judges thereof.
He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. What does that mean? He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. What does that mean?
That means that he paint over the faces of the judges, of Yahweh Shah, of the prophets.
Right, exactly what we was just now talking about. How when you close your eyes, the first thing you think of John the Baptist, you think of a white man with long string hair.
Right.
You think of Paul, think of Matthew, John, you think Jeremiah, you think of the judges in the books, you think of Moses, especially Moses. The first thing we think of, what's his name?
Sloppy, sir. Charlton Heston.
Hey, listen. When they say Moses, that's the first thing that comes to my mind. And the crazy thing is I got 3 movies at the house that I look at all the time.
The Bible story.
What's the 10 Commandments?
Oh yeah.
And I got the first version.
Yeah,
even way before I came to the truth, I was always into that. And the first thing when you say Moses, the first thing I think of Charlton Heston. You feel me? And it's wicked.
Yeah, it is.
It's straight wicked, right?
Is,
and it's like, I know Moses was black, but why does his face keep popping into my? But it's ingrained.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Think about this, right? Think about this. Those children at the border, right? The Hispanics that's at the border, El Salvadorians, all the Ecuadorians, all of them that's coming at the United States borders, right? The United States detains them. They take the children, put them in cages, right? And then deport the parents back to the country they came from, right? So then now what they do is they disperse the children all around the United States, all of those Texas and Louisiana, all of these places got little Hispanic kids that know nothing of their heritage, but what their parents, that their parents taught them. So now what you have is now you have them indoctrinating children, covering up the faces of the judges thereof. All of these things that their parents was going to show and tell them and teach them, now it's being covered up. Now, by the time these children, let's just say they take a 5-year-old kid from the border. By the time he's 15, he's totally indoctrinated and thinks he's an American. I saw a picture on CNN where they was indoctrinating children and they had their hands up like this, pledging allegiance. Think about when we did the Pledge of Allegiance in school, it was something natural and normal. But listen to the words, to pledge allegiance. I'm dedicating my life to this country. That's to pledge allegiance. Now, us as slaves, as a product of slaves, as the descendants of slaves, how could we possibly pledge our allegiance to a country like this? Because they cover up the faces of the judges thereof. They took all of our history. They took our names, our culture, and our God and made it themselves. So now, as a child, by the time you turn 15, when you close your eyes and say Jesus Christ, not Yahweh, but Jesus Christ, the first thing you see is a white, blonde-haired, stringy-haired, blue-eyed devil. They cover up the faces of the judges thereof. Everything that they're doing at that border is to destroy the custom, the culture of a people that they hate, so that they can then use these people as slaves. They cover up the faces of the judges thereof. Listen to this, right? We get mad at Hispanics because they say they're taking up all the jobs. The Hispanics mad at us for I don't know what the hell. You understand what I'm saying? But the common enemy puts us at each other's throats. We want $25 an hour to do that job, right? They force an illegal Hispanic, an illegal immigrant into the country and say, we're going to pay you $7. And they gratefully take the job because they had nothing. But us, because they cover up the faces of the judges thereof, we get mad at them and say, they're taking up our jobs, but they're taking jobs that we don't even want. Because we have been destroyed by the laws of this country. And because they are being destroyed by the same laws, we at each other's throats instead of going at the common enemy, the one who covers up the faces of the judges thereof. If we knew our culture, our customs, our real names, we would be at the common enemy, but we don't recognize the enemy. You understand what I'm saying? This is the title of the class today. You understand? We don't recognize our enemy. We can't recognize our enemy. We have the same common enemy. They cover up the faces of the judges thereof. Go ahead, continue.
If not, where and who is he?
It says, if not, if that's not him, where is he? Who is he? If this is not the enemy, the one who destroys and shoots black brothers in the back, if this is not the enemy, the one who can handcuff a brother, put him face down on the ground and shoot him in the back of the head, if this is not the enemy, he can shoot a man in his car with his wife and his daughter in the car with him and tell the wife not to touch him, let him die slow. Who is he? Who is our enemy? If this is not our enemy, somebody tell me who is our enemy. A people who can destroy you at the drop of a dime, go to court and get off, and they say, oh, he was defending himself, or he was standing his ground, or you can't tell what the person said, so how do we know why he killed them? So let's let him get off. Amber Geiger busts into a man's house and shoots a man in the middle of his own home and gets what, 10 years? 5 years at the most? 2.5 with good behavior? Come home on home monitor for 2, serve 6 months? You understand what I'm saying? We can't recognize our enemy. I'm not going to say Botham John was wrong, right? But when we live amongst them, these are the chances that we take. Because the Most High tells us what? That this is our enemy. We love to love our enemy. And our enemy loves to hate us. Who is the person that hates us? That's your enemy right there. If not, who and where is he? We know who he is. We know where he is. We just don't want to recognize. We just don't want to accept. This is the reason why we got to come back to the truth, because the truth tells us everything. I mean, think about it, right? Everything that goes on today is written right in the pages of this Bible. Everything that happens is written in the pages of this Bible. We just got to have to want to come back and learn the truth. This is the reason why Isupk, this is the reason why we get out there under the commanding General Yohana. This is the reason why we get out there on those Saturdays and we speak to our people. When we get out there, we're not speaking to white people or Chinese people. We're not speaking to Koreans. We're not speaking to East Indians. We're not speaking to Arabs or anybody. We're speaking to our people. If these people decide to stop and listen, then so be it. But we're not out there for them. We out there because we love our people enough to bring them this truth. You understand what I'm saying? Let's drop that scripture. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 2. Proverbs chapter 29 verse 2.
Proverbs chapter 29 verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice.
Say that again for me.
When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice.
It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. What does that mean? I mean, that's self-explanatory, right?
Right.
When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. Let's say it like this, right? When Yahushua returns, that scripture is going to be it right there. The righteous will be in authority, and the people will rejoice. We will rejoice. When the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians control this earth, when we are in authority, when we control and we control rulership, the people will rejoice. You feel me? The people will rejoice. Think about it, right? Think about this. Under commanding General Yohana, we rejoicing already in our own little work. I see a big difference in my life already. Just think about it. This, you can say that this is a small piece of heaven right here, being in this truth. We just getting a glimpse. Think about it, right? You ever heard a party going on? You heard a party going on, boom, 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 boom. And you was going to parties, and you peep and look into the door, and you see the women in there, and you see everybody having a good time, but you can't come in yet. That's what we experiencing right here in the UPK. You see everybody having fun. You ever in the 70s, right? In the 70s, my mother used to throw a hell of a house party, right? And it'd be everybody from everywhere, you know. We saying everybody. We ain't talking about Chinese and white people and all that. That's another, there we go again, right? That's us throwing that slang again. Everybody be there.
Right.
But we talking about our people. But my mother used to throw a party, right? And I mean, they be rocking. Kids had to go to bed, right? So me and my sister be at the top of the steps in our pajamas, looking down, watching everybody at the party. And they have a fire. I mean, people. I remember people used to come into the door and they used to introduce themselves to my mother, and they'd be like, "Oh, we just heard the party going on, so we decided to come in." You used to could do that in the 70s. I remember, oh, my mother like, "Come on in, come on the party, oh, come on in the party," and they would party with people that they didn't even know. That's heaven. You feel me? That's heaven. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. That's a part of heaven. That's a part of rejoicing right there. When you can party with a people you don't even know, but they are your people. I remember back in the end of the 70s, at the beginning of the 80s, that's how we used to be walking through neighborhoods and you heard a party going on and you knock on the door. Y'all having a party here? They're like, yeah, come on in. I experienced that myself. When you could just hear a party and knock on the door and be like, y'all having a party? And they'd be like, yeah, come on in. And we partying with people we don't even know. That was right there at the end of the 70s, just into the early 80s. You understand? You could do that. No more. You feel me? Can't do that no more. Why can't you do that anymore? Finish that scripture.
But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn.
That's why you can't do it anymore. That's exactly why you can't do it anymore. Because when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. Right now, we mourning on the face of this earth. Our people are being destroyed because the wicked beareth rule. Our oppressor beareth rule. And when our oppressor beareth rule, we will mourn. We was talking the other day. I remember, what was that? I'm just going to say 2010. I was paying a water bill $45 every 3 months. $45 every 3 months. Now I pay $45 every month because the wicked are in authority. Listen, they selling us water that belongs to us.
Right.
They selling you something that the Most High made free to everybody. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Water is free. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourning. Nobody mourneth more than the 12 tribes of Israel. Those other nations don't mourn. You understand what I'm saying? The other nations do not mourn. We are the only nation upon the face of this earth that is in mourning. So-called black, so-called Hispanic, and so-called Native Indian, we are the ones that mourn across the face of this earth. Gas and electric bill is off the chain. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Property taxes are off the chain. Food is bad. The people mourning. You feel me?
Okay.
You have to work 2 jobs just to survive. The people mourning. Sometimes you got to rob Peter to pay Paul. You got to decide whether you're going to eat tonight or your gas and electric going to be cut off tomorrow. You feel me?
Yeah.
When the wicked bears rule, the people mourn. We are mourning to this day. That's a say right there, mourning today. We are mourning to this day. That's crazy. You feel me? When the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. It's a struggle. In 1973, they said that the Maryland State Lottery started in 1973, and their whole premise, and we say this all the time, their whole premise, they say, is that part of that revenue was going to go to help schools. So the schools don't close up, so the kids have a better, so the kids have, the free lunches. And think about this, right? I'm going to show you how wicked this is, right? You work 40 hours a week, sometimes 50, 60 hours a week, right? And you got some people work 80, right? You get taxes taken out. You get all kinds of taxes taken out. And then you have to fill out an application to say whether your kid can eat a free lunch at school. You pay all the bills in the world. You understand? You pay that wicked gas and electric bill. You pay that wicked water bill. You renting from a person that probably doesn't love you at all anyway. Destroyed. And now you got to fill out an application to say whether your kid can eat free lunch at school or not. When your taxes go towards that school. You understand what I'm saying? When the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. Eating bad food. They have indoctrinated us into eating shrimp, crab, lobster, and pork. This is the reason why we number one at heart disease. This is the reason why our women got fibroids and thyroids. You understand what I'm saying? We number one at everything bad in the book. Because the wicked beareth rule. And because the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. This is just the way it is. And until we come back to the Most High and start following His law, statutes, and commandments, this is the way it's going to be. You feel me? Right. Let's go to Psalms chapter 58 and verse 3.
Psalm 58, verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb.
It says the wicked are estranged from the womb. What does that mean? The wicked are estranged from the womb.
It's like it, sir.
Go ahead.
The oppressor was born that way.
The oppressor was born that way.
That's right.
The oppressor was born that way. The wicked are estranged from the womb. We already determined who the wicked was. The wicked is our oppressor. It says our oppressor was wicked from the womb. The wicked are estranged from the womb. Listen, to be estranged means he is separated. His love, he has never had love. He is, when he comes out, he is naturally, I'm trying to put it right. Listen, when he comes out of the womb, love is automatically taken from him. He automatically strips himself of love. Hate is in his heart. To be estranged from the womb, the wicked are estranged from the womb. That means when he comes out, it is a natural phenomenon for him to hate you. It is natural for him to hate you. Right. The hate that he has in his heart is natural. Right. This is something that just is. And we can see that. And think about this, right? I had Captain Zariak did it wasn't a lecture, but he was on some white guys.
Yeah, it's heavy.
Right. Yeah. But did you hear the white guy said, we kill y'all to make y'all a better people?
You talking about when you talk to the Klansmen?
Yeah. He said, listen, it was another guy that he was talking to, a white guy. And he asked the white guy, and the white guy said, well, the reason why we killed y'all because you were savages and we was trying to make y'all better. He said it, that's not verbatim, but right. That was basically what he was saying, roundabout. Right. If we didn't come and use Christianity to destroy you, you wouldn't be the people that you are today. Right. He was saying basically that it was right that we killed and hung and shot and killed y'all so that you could be a better people under our rulership. Basically, in a nutshell, right. That's what he's saying. Right. These people are estranged from the womb. These people, if it's not about them, they don't feel love for it. If it's not directly affecting them, it's no love for it. You understand? They don't feel compassion for anything that's not directly affecting them. The murder, the carnage, the barbarianism, the raping, all of this pillaging that they do, they feel as though that this is their destiny to do this. They feel like this is supposed to happen to make a world better. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
They feel like this is the way it's supposed to be. If we didn't do this, then this world wouldn't be right. This is wickedness in their heart. This is in their hearts. You understand what I'm saying? This is in their heart to be this way. And no matter what we do, no matter what they do, we still love them. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
The wicked are estranged from the womb. It is in them to be evil like they are. And we can't understand it because we have so much love and compassion. Because the 12 tribes show so much love and compassion for people, we think that these people can change when he clearly states in the Bible that they can't change. The wicked are estranged from the womb. This is just the way they were. They were created.
Right.
Go ahead, finish that.
They go astray as soon as they be born.
Look, they go astray as soon as they be born. Listen, they come out the womb wicked. As soon as they be born, they go off doing evil deeds, even as babies.
Oh yeah.
Even as babies.
Mm-hmm.
Their children are wicked. And this is the thing, because, go ahead, what you got?
No, that's exactly what you're saying, because they got this video on YouTube surfacing that this little girl, I think she's about 3 years old, and I think she stole something, and she said, "No, mommy, a black man did it."
Yeah,
you saying that?
That's the one me and Gabar Dot saw that we was talking about that last year.
Yeah.
Right? Little British baby stole some cookies out the cookie jar, and her mother knew she did it. And she kept asking her who did it. The little girl kept saying, I don't know. And then the little girl came out of her head, looked around like a black man did it. And her mama started laughing. But they are wicked from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born. Listen, this is in their DNA to be like this.
Right.
But because us as Israel, we have so much compassion for other people that we don't understand it. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
We can't understand the hate that they have for us when it's clearly written in the Bible. Because we fell away from the law, statutes, and commandments, this is the reason why we can't understand it. Because we've fallen up under Christianity, this is the reason why the faces of the judges are covered. You understand? Got that veil over. Got a veil over our face. Everybody is good. That's what we say. When it clearly states that it's not. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born. I mean, it gets no clearer than that. You feel me? They go astray as soon as they be born. So listen, if at an innocent age they are already wicked, what do you think they're going to be when they become full-fledged adults? That's a horror picture. You understand what I'm saying? That's a horror picture. These people are evil. I'm gonna show you how evil these people are, right? I'm gonna show you how evil these people are. I'm gonna read this. I found this on CNN I found this on the news feed yesterday. Let me show you this. These are a wicked people. Check this out, right? It says Lucio Delgado. This is a brother, 23-year-old brother from Mexico, right? 23 years old from Mexico. Dig this. Was born blind and uses a cane to get around. He moved to the U.S. from Mexico 6 years ago. Now listen, he moved here legally, just like they said they wanted them to do, right? He moved here legally, 23 years old. Mr. Delgado said he was offered a large print sentence to read, which he could not, being totally blind. He couldn't read it, being totally blind. You would think, what? If he's totally blind, right? He can't see. If you got to take a test, what do you do? Tell me, what do you do?
It's like, sir, if he was educated in Braille, they would provide that.
Bah! There you go. You hit it on the nose, right? And he's totally blind. You give him a Braille book to read in Braille. In order to get the citizenship, he has to be able to read a line of English, one line of English, in order to get citizenship. Listen, I'm going to start again. Mr. Delgado said he was offered a large print sentence to read, which he could not, being totally blind. Mr. Delgado, who is legally blind under Illinois state law, which is where he's taking the test at in Illinois, right, was told to get a doctor's note to prove his condition. He was already proven to be legally blind in the state of Illinois. Already proven. Right? Listen to this. It says, over here, I was going to get the education I couldn't get in Mexico. Right? He told CBS News from his home on a farm in Pembroke Township in Illinois, about 70 miles south of Chicago. After taking the test in May, he recently received a letter from U.S. Citizenship and Migration Services informing him that he had been rejected. Listen, unfortunately, you were unable to read a sentence in the English language. The letter said, regrettably, you were unable to achieve a passing score on the reading portion of the naturalization test. They didn't give it to him in Braille. He is 100% totally blind under Illinois state law, but they chose to give him a big print book, knowing regardless if it's big or small, he still can't read it because he's totally blind.
Right.
I really wasn't expecting not to be provided the very basic accommodation. He told Washington Post News, it was quite a shocker, honestly. I was going to be someone. I was going to make my family here and in Mexico proud of me. How wicked can a people be? You know he's 100% blind, but you're going to force him to read a sentence in a book anyway. How wicked, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born. You feel me?
That's crazy.
They go astray as soon as they be born. This wickedness is ingrained in them. You understand? This is just how they are. This is just how they are. Somebody at the door? This is just how they are. You feel me?
Okay.
I mean, these people, this is, listen, we get treated bad by every nation on this earth. But this is the cream of the crop. This European, this oppressor, this white man is the evilest of the evil. You want to finish reading that for me?
Come. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies.
Go ahead.
Their poison is like the poison of a serpent.
Their words from their mouth, the things that they do, the courses of action that they take are poisonous like a serpent. Listen, read that again.
Their poison is like the poison of a serpent.
Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. Everything that they do is built to destroy you. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They don't give you anything unless it is made to destroy you. But you say, look, well, what about the millionaire football players? They are destroyed. What about the millionaire basketball players? They are destroyed. The very thing that they give them is to tear them away from their people. Think about it. When our brothers and sisters become millionaires, what do? They up and they pull and they move away from their people. Who do they move amongst? They move amongst the people that they think love them. Because you got money, that makes them hate you even more. Because they looking at you like, who does he think he is? Moving amongst us. He think because he got a little bit of money, he can live amongst us. Well, we're going to write nigga on the side of his house. Ain't what they did to LeBron James?
Come.
They wrote nigga on the side of his house. They wrote nigga on the side of his house to remind him, nigga, you not us. Just because you got a little bit of money and you moved here, nigga, you not us. You don't belong here. That's the poison of that serpent. Our brothers and sisters being shot in the back in the streets, that's the poison of that serpent. Our children being destroyed in these schools, run by our oppressor, that's the poison of the serpent. Everything in this culture was built to destroy us, was built to oppress us, was built to keep us right where we are. You feel me?
We on Facebook?
No. You can't hook that up. You can't hook that Facebook up. You got to hit the share button down the bottom. Go into the Facebook. You see the little arrow they hook? That little arrow?
Yeah, I mean,
if you hit that arrow and the box come up, then hit the Facebook box and then go down and hit post.
I got it.
Got it?
Post. No.
You got it?
No. I figured.
Got it. Let me show you.
Oh,
Yeah, hit that.
Oh, that.
Hit Facebook. Now hit post at the bottom.
Okay.
Post to Facebook. No, right there. Just hit the blue bar.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
There you go. Just leave it like that.
All right.
All right, where we at?
Psalms 58 and 4.
Go ahead, read that.
Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear.
Yeah, like the death adder that stoppeth her ear. Listen, the death adder is one of the most poisonous snakes on the face of the earth, right? They are like the death adder that, what do you say, the death adder that stoppeth her ear. Listen, we all know snakes don't have ears, right? But when you crying out there on that street, when that police got that gun on you, you tell him, don't shoot, don't shoot. He can't hear you. He doesn't understand that. You understand what I'm saying? When you say, When you get up in that courtroom and say, it wasn't me, they ain't trying to hear that. They need a conviction. You understand? When you get ready to get kicked out of your house and you say, I can have the money by tomorrow, they ain't trying to hear that. They want you on the street. When you own your house and they coming through demolishing neighborhoods and they want to run a highway through your house and you say, I ain't selling, they ain't trying to hear that. They don't get it by any means necessary. They are like the deaf adder who stoppeth her ear. They can't hear nothing good. All they know is evil. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
These people were wicked from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born. Their ears like the ear of a deaf adder that stoppeth her ear. You understand what I'm saying? They don't hear good. They are not built to do good. They are built to do evil. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
What's that scripture?
Which one?
About the change in the spots.
The bird?
No, the leopard.
Oh.
Okay, give me Jeremiah 13 and 23. That's it right there. Jeremiah chapter 23.
Jeremiah chapter.
Hold up for a second.
Come on.
Hey, sis, you got that written down?
Writing it down.
Okay.
Jeremiah chapter 23.
13 and 20.
13.
13 and 23. Let me know when you finish, sis. Hold up for a minute. The first scripture that we used was Job 9 and 24. Write that one down. And then we used Proverbs 29 and 2. And then we used Psalms 58 and 3. You got that? Okay. So now we had Jeremiah chapter 13, verse 23. Go ahead.
Can the Ethiopian change his skin?
It says, can the Ethiopian change his skin? What does that mean?
He's an Ethiopian, so he'll always be an Ethiopian.
Well, it's like a
His
custom.
his appearance is going to take on another form.
You got it. You there, right? But it's a custom of the Ethiopian to You ever seen the Ethiopian?
Talking about scarification.
Scarification, right? The Ethiopians do that by culture. So when it says, can the Ethiopian change his skin? After he does that, can he change his skin?
Lies.
He can. You can recognize the Ethiopian. As a matter of fact, even when the Ethiopian doesn't do that, we know an Ethiopian when I see it. I see him all the time. You understand? The Ethiopian has characteristics about them that does not change. We can see that. One of those characteristics is the scarification. And another characteristic is, if you ever seen an Ethiopian woman, right? They got big foreheads and they got round eyes. You can see it. They have that brown color skin that's like almost a caramel brown. But they got characteristics about them. Their heads are always, it's like kind of big up here. You can, when you see an Ethiopian, you know, oh yeah, he's Ethiopian. Or what's the other? Somalian. They like cousins. You understand? And those characteristics you can basically recognize them. But go ahead.
Or the leopard his spots.
Or the leopard his spots. Can a leopard change his spots?
Lies.
You can't. Go ahead.
Then may ye also do good that are accustomed to do evil.
Then may ye do good that is accustomed to doing evil. Listen. This oppressor is accustomed to doing evil. It's not in them to do good. It's not in them to do good. They are not accustomed to doing good. They are accustomed to doing evil. It is in their blood to do evil. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's just naturally in them. It's in their DNA. This is the way the Most High made them. You understand? This is just the way the Most High made them. Who can make crooked? Who can make straight that which He hath made crooked? What scripture is that? Who can make that straight which He hath made crooked? Grab that for me. Who can make that straight which He hath made crooked?
That's
Is that in Job?
Ecclesiastes 7:13.
Ecclesiastes. Let's go to that.
Ecclesiastes 7:13.
Hold up for a second.
Come on.
You got that, sister? Ecclesiastes 7:13. Oh, let's see it too. Go ahead.
Consider the work of God.
It says, consider the work of God. How do you consider the work of God?
By doing His command.
No, it says consider. It didn't say do the work of God. It said consider. Consider the work of God. You know what that means, sis? It says consider the work of God. Hold on, let me see if she got it. Because I know you probably already got it. You got it, sis? Consider the work of God. You know what that means? You got it now, war.
It's like, consider, I believe in this context, means to think over carefully.
There you go. Think over carefully. Consider the work of God. Think about what He has done. Consider the work of God, right? Listen. Consider the work of God. Consider how He hung that sun where He hung it at. Consider how He put the minerals in the ground for you to dig up and create the things that we have created. Consider the work of God. Consider how He had put man and woman together to make a child. Consider the work of God. Consider how He made a male and a female of every species on the face of the earth. Consider the work of God. How did He split the lands with the water? How did He decide to do that? Consider the work of God. Right? Who can make that straight which He hath made crooked? Consider the work of God. Go ahead.
For who can make that straight which He hath made crooked?
Who can make that straight which He hath made crooked? Basically saying, how can you undo the thing which God hath done? How can you change that which God hath made? Consider the work of God. How can you make a man who was built to be evil? How can you make him good? Consider the work of God. You understand what I'm saying?
Come on.
How can you make that straight which He hath made crooked? Now, look at the word context that He used here. He didn't say, how can you make something crooked that He hath made straight? He said, how can you make something straight? How can you make something right that He made crooked? How can you straighten up something that was made crooked? How can you straighten and make an evil man good? You cannot. He was created to be evil. He was wicked from the womb. He is estranged from the womb. Basically. You feel me? This is the way he was made. But us, so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we think that we can, well, eventually he gonna love us. Eventually he gonna do good by us. Eventually he gonna do us right. Eventually he gonna let us own our own neighborhood. Eventually he gonna let us own our own schools. Eventually he gonna let us own our own neighborhoods and schools and stores and build up our own stuff. Consider the work of God. Who can make that straight which he hath made crooked? This man was made wicked. There is no turning him into good. There's nothing that can turn him into good. Check this out. We was down Lexington Market Saturday, right? We speaking out there at Lexington Market, and we talking about it's Chinese people in there behind the stall, right? The white man had an audacity to come up to us and say that, oh, they're not Chinese, they're Koreans. These people, they just, listen. He had the audacity to say, these people just gave me $40 million to fix up Lexington Market. Now, I'm thinking to myself, why did you tell me that? They just gave me. He didn't say they just gave my company. He said they gave me. And I could tell he was some kind of businessman or something. They just gave me $40 million to fix up Lexington Market. And then he went on to say, those are not Chinese, they are Korean. We said they all the same. All them niggas hate us. All of them selling us rat, dog, and cat. As far as we concerned, that's what I told them. As far as we concerned, they all the same. They are confederate against thee. Psalms 83, 2 and 5, right? They are confederate against thee. They have come together. They have put their petty differences aside to come together as one and to subdue us, to control us, to make money off of us. This is exactly what they do. You understand? This is what these people do. Consider the work of God. Who can make that straight which he hath made crooked? You can't make something that God made evil. You can't make it good. And because we are the 12 tribes of Israel, and because we have so much compassion in us, we think that this white man, if we keep showing him love, he is eventually going to show us love back. When it clearly states that who can make that straight which he hath made crooked? Right. He is estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born. You understand what I'm saying? Right. There is no love for us in this man's heart. You know what he loves? He loves when he makes money off of us. Now, this European, this oppressor has $40 million to build a new Lexington Market so that they can kick all the Negroes out.
Good night.
You understand what I'm saying? So that they can kick all the Negroes out. At the end of the day, when they putting $42 million into anything, it's so niggas can't be around. All that getting high out front of there, selling drugs out in front of there, when they put that $42 million, all that shit gonna stop.
Yeah, definitely.
Listen, why do they allow it to happen? Why do they allow it to happen? Go ahead.
The majority of the crowd in and about Lexington Market are our people, so it's okay if we destroy ourselves.
Right, but it's something even bigger than that.
Drop the property value
down. God damn it, that's why we got you here. That's why we got you here, not war. You understand what I'm saying? It's property value. It's property value. So what's going to happen is when it's time to reissue licenses to work in that Lexington Market, they're going to buy everything out and then they're going to sell everything back to who? And they're going to make sure it's not a single nigga in there. And they're going to wait till after the mayoral race is done. so that the mayor ain't got to hear it from you no more. You understand what I'm saying? This ain't gonna be done so that the mayor gonna be forced to let you have businesses down there. They gonna wait till after the mayoral race. That's why it's brought up now. So by the time everything get to put into motion, all the plans get put into motion, the mayor already gonna be picked, and he ain't got to hear a word from y'all. They had an article a couple of months ago that Catherine Pugh had to give the Koreans back. What was that, $60,000 or something like that? Yeah, he had to give them back $60,000 after she got brought up on those charges. Listen, it's not by happenstance that all the corner stores are owned by either the Chinese or Korean. It's not by happenstance. It's not by happenstance that all the East Indians own all the Dunkin' Donuts. It's not by happenstance. It's not by happenstance that damn near all of the liquor stores are owned by the Arabs. It's not by happenstance. Think about it, right? We go out and vote every year. You don't see Koreans and Chinese voting. You don't see Arabs voting. You don't see the East Indians voting. So how they getting all the businesses? They pay their way through. We sit up there, we want to protest. We sit up there, we want to do everything under the sun, and nothing works for us. Think about this, and who was I talking to earlier? I asked about the silent boycott. Have you ever been boycotted? You ever been boycotted? You ever been boycotted? How do you boycott? How do you boycott?
It's a group of people that come together and be at the courthouse and stuff. I had to do it for Wells Fargo when they was doing all that big.
You had to boycott?
Yeah, I did it 2 times. I was on TV.
Yeah. What happened?
We broke it, and they started getting it together.
They started getting it together?
Yeah, Wells Fargo.
What they got together?
Changing how they do their practice.
They changed it so you couldn't recognize that they were stealing.
Yeah.
That's what they did. That's what they did. Now, don't take this personal, sister.
Okay.
That's a dumbass way to boycott.
Right.
And I'm gonna tell you why. Because you get boycotted every day. How do you get boycotted every day? Chinese people keep their mouth shut and they don't buy from you. Arabs keep their mouth shut and they don't buy from you. East Indians keep their mouth shut and they don't buy from you. But you damn sure buy from them. See, they silently boycott you every day. But we have been integrated into a system that teaches us we need to get out there with picket signs to get what we want. Well, you don't have to do that. All you have to do is keep your mouth shut and not buy from them. That's a silent boycott. But because we've been so indoctrinated and because we followed Martin Luther King into a burning house, we think we have to get out there with picket signs and everything else and force people to take our money. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
That's a boycott. See, the problem is because we keep following our pastors, preachers, and politicians. Mind you, people that are getting paid off of us. You understand what I'm saying? Because we have a people who are getting paid off of us. Our priesters, our preachers, and pastors and politicians, they get paid to make sure that the Koreans, the Chinese, the East Indians, the Arabs all have businesses in our neighborhood. So your preacher, your pastor, and your politician, they keep you subservient. They keep you humble. They keep you in that Martin Luther King way. They teach you that we all have to get along. When Arabs and East Indians and Chinese and Koreans, they don't get along with you. As a matter of fact, they talk trash to you. When you come in their store to buy their product, The Chinese man said it best up in New York a couple of years ago when the girl got beat up in New York. He said those people have no dignity. He said we have no dignity. Why did he say we have no dignity? Because after all of that happened and after all of that protesting, they put a 50% off sign on everything and all the protesting stopped. To them, we are a people who have no dignity. We can see somebody getting beat in the street and we'll say, oh, as long as it ain't me.
Right.
We can see Korean women beating up on our women in a store, destroying our women in the store, Koreans choking our women out in the store. And we can say, as long as it ain't me. And step over them and keep on in there and buying their stuff. They silently boycott you every day, and then they show you that they don't love you. You understand what I'm saying? They show us that they don't love us. And because they don't love us, they treat us like garbage. But because we have all of this compassion in our heart, we show all of our compassion and love to them by purchasing everything from them and not from our own people. Think about this, right? Their chicken is garbage. Their food is garbage. We make all the best foods and everything. But why do we continue to buy from these people? We are a destroyed people. We show all of our love to our people, to their people, and show none to our own. These people are confederate against us. You understand? They have already come together and made a plan to keep us under their foot. You understand? It's the reason why they make most of their money. Think about it, Chinese people make most of their money off the shrimp and the pork. You understand? They make all of their money off the very things that defile us. The very thing that keeps us at odds with the Most High. You understand?
Right.
That very thing, that's the very tool that they use to keep us at odds with the Most High. So that their eyes can be upon Zion, so that they can be high on the hog. Listen, look at the term that we use, high on the hog. High on the hog.
Right.
Think about how long we've been using that term. The very thing that defiles us, high on the hog. They sit high on the hog and look down on us. They come from cultures where they are the poorest of the poor, dirt poor. They are 10 times poorer than you, then come here and they are a step above you.
I was just watching the series today. These East Indians, like they don't even have a sewer system.
Exactly. They are the filth of the filth. They are the filth of the earth. But they come here and they are above you. And then they walk around, especially their women. The East Indian women, they know they are above you.
Right.
These broads come from being where they have been living in rat-infested houses.
Right. Mud holes.
Exactly. Holes. They got rats running all around them.
Right.
But when they get here, they think they are above you.
Right.
Those Nigerian women too.
Yeah.
Nigerian women too. I was working a part-time at Walmart, and the Nigerian lady saw how I was working and saw I had 2 jobs and doing everything else. She's like, oh my God. We were taught that American black men were lazy. I said, well, who taught you that? That's just how they are taught.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
They have no respect for us, but they can't see how their men are lazy. And I seen how all the Nigerian men that were working at the Walmart, it was lazy as hell. They ducking out so they don't have to do work. But she don't see that. Nigerian women are blind to the truth. You understand? Their men can be lazy, but you can't. When they were never enslaved. You understand what I'm saying? So what the hell do they know about work? How can we possibly be lazy when we were born enslaved? and made to work with vigor. Ain't that what Pharaoh said in Egypt? I will make them work with vigor. He get pissed and make you work harder. Let them make bricks without straw. You feel me? How can a slave be lazy? That's impossible. You feel me? That's impossible. Where we at? Where we left off at?
It's like, so we finished with Ecclesiastes 7:13.
Okay, that's where we was at. I thought we jumped to another one. Let's go to Psalms 55 and 20. Got this, sis? Let me know when you get there. Psalms chapter 55, verse 20. You got that?
Yes.
Go ahead.
The book of Psalm 55, verse 20. He hath put forth his hand against such as be at peace with him.
It says he had put forth his hand at such that be at peace with him. What does that mean? He had put forth his hand at such, against such that be at peace with him. What does that mean? What that means, think about this, right? He had put forth his hand at such that be at peace with him. When he came to these Americas, the native Indians were at peace with him. He set up 177 peace treaties with the native Indians. The native Indians be at peace with him. But he put forth his hand. He raised up his hand. He raised up his hand. He raised his hand. He went to war with the very people that be at peace with him. This is how the native Indians were destroyed. He goes to war with us every day, but we still want to be amongst him. He put up his hand against such that be at peace with him. We are at peace with him, but he is at war with us. He put up his hand. He destroying our brothers in the middle of the street. He killing our brothers in the street, shooting them in the back. Put your hands up. We are at peace, but he still guns you down. He put up his hand against such that be at peace with him. Choking brothers out on the street until they die. Putting your knee in their back till you crack their spine.
Right.
He put up his hand against such that be at peace with him. This is how he destroyed the native Indians. This is how he destroyed the blacks and Hispanics in the street today. Because we are at peace with him. We don't want any problem, but he brings it to us anyway. He destroys us in the street anyway. We be at peace, but he is at war. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Go ahead.
He hath broken his covenant.
He has broken his covenant, 177 peace treaties that he had with the native Indians. He had broken his covenant. He broke all 177 of them. He put the native Indians on reservations. He made a treaty with them on the reservations. And now he's trying to take that land from them so they can run oil pipelines through their land. You understand what I'm saying? Once again, the native Indians trusting, and this is something that is ingrained in us. We trust and trust and trust till no end. But when it comes to our own people, we do not trust our home.
Right.
We trust the very people who kill us and destroy us on the street today. But we don't trust our own brothers and sisters who are put here for our benefit, who are our family. You understand what I'm saying? We are a destroyed people. The 12 tribes are a destroyed people. And until we come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments, we're going to continue to be a destroyed people.
Right.
You feel me? Go ahead.
The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
The words of his mouth were smoother than butter. Now, look, we just said he did 177 peace treaties with the Native Indians, and he destroyed the Native Indians, right? The words of his mouth were smoother than butter. He emancipated the so-called Negro. He so-called emancipated the so-called Negro. Emancipate means only to move from private property to state property. He added the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment just so he could lock us up on any charges, on bogus charges, and use you as a slave again. The emancipation was not made to free you. You understand what I'm saying? It was not made to free you. And then on top of that, when they had that Civil War, right? They told the slaves, if you escape to the North, then you can fight for your people's freedom down in the South. Our people were more than happy to do that. You escape from the South and come to the North, and now you get to fight against the oppressor and free your family. His words were smoother than butter. Them words are smooth. Because now think about this, right? If you escape from slavery, you got free, and you know you had your whole family that was still in slavery, you're gonna fight like a beast.
Right.
It's nothing that's gonna be able to stop you to go and free your family.
Right.
His words were smoother than butter. He got you amped up. He got us amped up to go save our people. And we are still in slavery to this day. His words were smoother than butter. Go ahead.
But war was in his heart.
But war was in his heart. That 14th, 15th Amendment, 14th, 15th, what's that? The 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment destroys us. Think about this, right? Think about this. They wrote what's that thing they wrote, 1776?
The Constitution.
Constitution, right? In 1776, they wrote the Constitution. And then in Section 1, Section 1, Article 2, it clearly states in there that you are 3/5 of a person, right? Subhuman. That's on the lines of cattle, and we were considered what? Equipment, right?
Mm-hmm.
We were considered equipment. You wasn't even considered a person. That's Section 1, Article 2 states that, right?
Farm equipment. And
then every year, you running out there celebrating the 4th of July with them. Like the Constitution freed you.
Mm-hmm.
When in 1776, you were still a slave. Think about it. 1865 ain't even hit yet when you was free. It's 1776.
Right.
This is, you still got over 100, just under 100 years to go.
Right.
You still a slave. You still being beaten, hung. After 1776, that's a couple months after 1776, they was back to hang. Well, they was still hanging you,
right,
killing you, castrating you, murdering you, cutting your foot off, prodding your eyes out, burning your eyes out, and everything. They was still doing the same things to you.
Still property.
But we still want to sit around and we want to celebrate the 4th of July and all of these wicked holidays that they celebrate.
It's like, sir, in 1776, that's when the British colonialists basically wrote down and codified their separation from Great Britain.
Exactly.
So imagine if the slaves could vote at that time.
Right.
Would they vote for Great Britain or would they vote for the U.S.? And if so, how would that change their situation?
And think about this, right? Just that you said that. That's like voting for a Republican or a Democrat today.
Exactly.
You feel me? That's like voting for a Republican or a Democrat today. I mean, think about it, right? And I try to explain to people, right? Look, you fully had your out and out voting rights in 1965. From 1965 to 2020 is 55 years, right? What has changed about your situation from then to now?
It's like it, sir. The black family has been decimated.
The black family has been decimated. That's the only thing that changed. That's the only thing that changed, is that the black family has been decimated. And before 1965, we had more black families together than white people.
Yep.
More black families stayed together than white people, almost double. We believed in family, but integration gets you to believe that I can do bad by myself. If you want to put a ring on it. What's all the little slang that women say? You understand? And even with the brothers, I ain't trying to get tied down.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Integration made you start looking out for yourself. Not, think about this, right? We are the only people, our women are the only people that say, I don't need a man. You never heard the white woman say that. You never heard the Chinese woman say it. You never heard the Korean woman say it. You never hear the East Indian woman say it. You don't hear the Arab woman say it. Because they know where their power lies. You don't see the East Indian or the Arab or all those other cultures throwing their women away either. Our men are the only ones that do that. We are the only ones that throw our women away. Now, we're not saying that these other nations don't. It's not times where they leave each other or divorce. We're not saying that.
Percentage-wise.
But it's natural for us now. It's natural for you to have an ex-husband here, an ex-husband there, an old boyfriend here, an old boyfriend there.
Right.
It's natural for us. Oh, I used to be with her. I threw her away too. I threw her away. I threw her away. Man, I had her already. It's natural.
Right.
It shouldn't be, but it's natural. Because we don't recognize our enemy, we follow their customs and their culture, not knowing that it destroys us. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Their words were smoother than butter, but war was in their heart. Everything that they apply to us, everything that they give us is made to destroy us. Child support is made to destroy us. Child support is made to keep the black family broken up. Welfare is to destroy us. Welfare is built to destroy the black family. Welfare was not even a thing that was for us in the beginning. It was for white people, and it was to keep white families together. But they changed it and made it so it would destroy black families. And if you were on welfare, your husband or your boyfriend could not be living in the house. Anything that he gave you, they would take tabs on it and take it off of your welfare check. So that made you not want to get nothing from him so you could keep getting that check. If you didn't want anything from him, women thought, well, what do I need him for? You understand what I'm saying? So you kept him out of the house and then saw another dude on the side. Well, these not his kids, so I ain't worried about him. You understand? And so like with the man, well, I'm gonna throw her away. I don't need her. I'm gonna go get her. Deal with her and throw her away. Deal with her and throw her away. Now you got babies all over the city that don't know their brothers and sisters. Where if you would have stayed with all of them, the kids would have knew everybody, and they wouldn't be having all these incest babies.
Right.
You feel me? We are destroyed people. This system is wicked. This oppressor was wicked from the womb. He go astray as soon as he be born. You understand what I'm saying? That's just the way it is. And with that, I'm going to say we are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started out at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under the commanding General Yahan. We have been bringing this truth since 1969, and that truth is that the so-called blacks, the so-called Hispanics, and the so-called Native Indians are the true Jews of the Bible, and the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. And right now, I'm going to turn the class over to a priest officer of 1,000 not to Zol. Come on, brother. Get him, boy. Do what you do.
Excellent class. We are the Isupk coming out of 1 West, 125th Street, out of Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yahan. New rules for a brother and sister. When a brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to show themselves for the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months which the brother or sister will court each other. After the 6 month period, brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, 8 through 10, which means 10th in Hebrew, and it's pronounced Ma'ashera. 10% of every penny of any 10% of any penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering, not mandatory, whatsoever would you like to give. Upcoming holy event, we have the slaughter of the lamb.
March 15th.
March 15th. You know what I'm saying? Ran by Captain Picard. And we got that's next weekend.
Yep, Sunday. Coming up.
Next Sunday coming up. And then we have the Passover following that, April 9th. Check your school for further details. Remind every Akim and Akwathin to check on social media such as isupk.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on forth for Isupk events and material. If a brother wants to become a trooper in the school, then he is to start wearing all black, which include black boots, shirts, pants, headbands, and scarves. With that, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel.
My Shabbat. My Barak.
Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah Barakatha.
Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabbat Thumb.
Sister Hussein. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the sister. Men of Israel. My Shabbat. My Barak.
Yahweh Shema Al-Tham Hashem Yahweh Shah.
Yahweh Shema, Allah, Hashem, Yahweh.
Got your time. Class dismissed.
Yeah, how you gonna be eating the chicken and don't bring it on?